This is what the, yes, thank you. Yeah, this is the first one in the year. Huh? Okay. Let me start by giving you the context, which is rather a favorable one regarding what we are doing today on this Communiversity. I think all of us realize that this ranking game is finally coming to an end by a few development which we predicted, but not in the way we thought it is going to be. First, the law schools in United States. I think 15 top law schools has quit the U.S. News and Report kind of ranking. I think that ranking is probably among the first in the world, and they cite that methodology is a suspect. Finally, very late in the day, that they suddenly question methodology. I think the first three that spoke is Yale, Stanford, and Duke. Okay, and after that, a few more medical law schools follow suit. I think then we're predicting that this will spill over to other faculty, other disciplines. And yes, I think last week about that, Harvard announced, Harvard Medical School announced that they are not going to spend time with the same reporting again. Yeah. So these are two, bagi saya, kind of a landmark decision. Although we have been saying the same thing for a long time, but nobody listened to us for one reason or the other, but that's not important anymore. So at the same time, I think 2 weeks before that, the new Minister of Higher Education made an announcement that things are going to be changed. And one of the things that's going to change, dia kata, is ketaksuban kepada penerapan ranking lah. And repeated the same thing when he gave a speech in the MU, not in a very direct way, tapi dia kata it's not enough just to have reports, journals, impact factor. He wants to see impact on the ground, right? I am quite pleased in the sense that the language and the tone that he spoke with almost mirror to what we have been talking along for a long time. Okay? And then before he came on board, we were already being given an approval to do the Communiversity in a formal way by a fund of what, 60,000? 50,000. 50,000 ringgit jadilah for 5 universities to work together to work out what this Communiversity is all about. So this UPM, UTM, UTM, and UNIMAP, and ourselves. So to use the old jargon, it's 2 research university, 2 technical university, and 1 quote-unquote comprehensive university, which also, according to Datuk Sri Khalid Nordin, is no longer useful. The segmentation of this university is no longer useful because university is supposed to do the same thing depending on how you're going to do it. So these are all new things that comes very early in the year. And on top of that, we have last year received an invitation to speak at a conference in Oman, organized by Qatar University, about research and its relevance. At that time, we already submitted the paper by talking about the ranking and stuff like that. And we also introduced the whole idea to Qatar. Katakan, well, we are looking at this whole idea of ranking. These are our criteria, the 5 criteria I think that we're going to discuss. Are you interested? So we had a small discussion online. Dia bawa orang dia, then they seems to be interested. And they apply invite Saudi Arabia, Qatar now, Turkey, Oman, and us to have the same discussion at the Middle Eastern punya level, the Muslim world punya level. We're supposed to have it next month, but we pushed it to March the 3rd, I think, 6th. Yeah. because of some inconvenient dates. But it's good because by then kita dah habis kita punya discussion locally, and we know what we are going to say to these people. Hopefully, that this will bring some world attention, particularly Muslim and developing world. Kalau kita boleh buat ni, I think chances are we can occupy very quickly, quote unquote, the vacuum that is left by Times and QS and those the conventional rankings, so vendors. So there's already discussion tentang Myra, there's also discussion tentang Setara. How do you then readjust benda ni to the new format of appraisal? We won't call it ranking, we won't call it rating, we call it appraisal. At least kita punya mindset is kind of free, rather than being constrained by this terminology or this so-called words that we are so used to. So we are hoping that we set the milestone for this. Kurang-kurangnya kita tahu apa yang kita boleh buat, apa yang tak boleh buat. I think most of the question that people ask, how do you measure? The question of measurement becomes an important issue. We know to a certain extent what to measure, but certainly this is not the end of the question that we need to discuss. So the more we talk about this, the better. And with your experience with the symposium, UIA, and all the other committee engagement thing, I think we have matured a little bit as to what is possible and what is not possible. So the question now is to assemble this, to present it to the community, and finally to present it to KPT. Kalau they accept, then I think IUM will have a new role to play moving forward to replace ranking, and this is certainly a global one. We'll also make contacts with other groups, the non-Muslim groups, Professor in Bristol, UNESCO certainly in Paris, in Caracas. There's also a group in Canada, and there's also a group in Paris. Semuanya have got their own approach. They have got different approaches, but got the approach. We have met with them, and we are supposed to meet again to sort of finalize where we can work and collaborate together. So that is the background for hari ini. So kalau hari ini kita boleh fokus on, at the end of the day, kita say what is possible, what is not possible, then I think we can present it to the international forum, and from then on, hopefully this can be a new milestone for us. So I would like to thank whoever had made this the contribution today. This is not a small contribution, it is a major contribution because it changes the mindset altogether. Right? So let's hope and let's thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving this opportunity, really a golden opportunity to move ahead. Never that we realize in the very short period of 4 years, this will come to the fore, and we have strike a deal with some of the more promising agendas around the world. So I stop there, Zainal. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Also, just to add on, sebentar tu ada pula Madani. Lupa. Madani. The Madani, M is for kemampanan. Nombor 2 tu A, tapi dia kesejahteraan. And then D itu so daya cipta. The other A is God. Keyakinan. No. The other A is, I'm not too sure. N is keyakinan, and I is ihsan. Kalau dia dah come from the English word script. Script is S is sustainability, C is compassion and care, P is prosperity. They're supposed to be kesejahteraan. They translate as prosperity. I is innovation, and T is trust. What is the second A?
Second A is hormat.
Hormat. Susah nak ingatlah pada A, hormat. Apanya? The first A is kesejahteraan. So it's almost like an afterthought lah kot. But never mind, better than never. So suddenly the two words yang kita trying to work on is kesejahteraan dengan sustainability is already into Madani. So I will be giving my al-liqa, I think day after tomorrow, entitled Humanizing Madani Towards Sejahtera. See how it goes. Kita pun goreng lah sana sikit. Tengok macam mana rupanya. Okay, let's go. Assalamualaikum. Thank you.
Salam. Thank you very much, Tan Sri, Prof. Faris, and everyone, and also those in the virtual online. Yeah. Nothing much to add. As Tan Sri has given a background from our perspective, from the Sejahtera Center, we've been working on this Communiversity for some times, and we realized that after several discussions that internally, there are systems that come from the ministry who's been pushing for this, but we just need to synergize them. That is the reason why, if you see from the list of the speakers, that we invite Prof. Amir to talk about the Myra, because we know the currency there are quite relevant. And then Setara, the background of the Setara is that when we have discussion with the ministry, one of the options suggested is to do Setara Plus, means that to make it practical, the thing that we'll be introducing, not a totally new thing, but it's add on to the existing systems. Then we invite Prof. Azami, who said will be Dr. Khalilah presenting on the data that they've been gathering from on community engagement. And last one, Dr. Yasir will be sharing, and we hope we will have some ideas of how to put this thing together, because among the 5 universities, we are asked for others information as well. Among all the 5 universities, the division is that our university is entrusted to handle and develop measurement for responsible research. So that is why, for that reason, we are opting for this one. I mean, to talk about this. So with that remark, maybe Prof. Amir, if you can share with us with that background.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Zainal, Tan Sri, Prof. Faris, okay, and my colleagues. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so what we're presenting here is a very short presentation. Okay, just 7 slides altogether. This is on what we call this research performance currency. So this is the one that we are using as of now to measure individual performance. Okay, so and on this in this set of slides, I just focus solely on the community. Basically, in Myra, only 1 section of the 8 section is a G6. Okay, and specifically as well is only G6 A and B. Okay, so can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so all those information basically is all on the website. Okay, so there's a quite big number of we have glossaries. Okay, and we also have a number of other presentation as well. In fact, the presentation that is taken here is also based on the many presenters that come to give presentation to us. Okay, to UM. Okay, on this Myra as well. Next. Okay, basically, this is the G6. So the G6, you have G6. G6 on we have Myra 1 and also Myra 2. Okay, for Myra 1, Myra 1 is the one is on non-RU. Okay, RU is Myra 2. Okay, so for non-RU, so we're talking about G6 is talking about pengetahuan, projek penyebaran teknologi and asimilasi. So this is the step where to the community, because there are a number of ways. So for G6A1 is the number of projects, new projects for that year. So this newly registered project. So this is what's been managed by oil as of now. Okay, so we are registering all new projects. Okay, and also we have a G6B. Okay, G6B is the project that's been continued from the year before. Okay, in fact, originally it's supposed to be the one that giving impact. Okay, the original idea G6B is the project that giving impact. However, I think this is before my time, and it's before Azami time as well. The university doesn't have personnel to give a narrative. Okay, what is impact? So that's why you go to the next slide.
Yeah, I mean, yang tu mengapa inovasi sosial tu in bracket?
Because assimilasi and is all inovasi sosial. Okay. Okay. You go to the next one. No, it's okay. Tak ada pula lah. Okay, never mind. So we based on this currency. So this currency here just showing on publications. So this is based because like the way that Myra works is like you have each section will have a maximum mark. Okay, and the maximum marks we for our currency we divide among the active staff, okay, and also research postgraduate. Okay, and then we multiply on what is your achievement. So basically, if you for one publication, index journal publication, you have about 0.99 marks. 0.99, yes. Okay, and then the rest you can see. If let's say you have a research books will be 0.074. Okay, so this is 1.7. So basically, nearly double than the research publication index journal. Okay, so this is the currency for what we can say that this is based what we have at that time. Okay, is that we have a 1,250 staff. Okay, we have 50% in SNT and 45% in hard humanities. Okay, and also there we got from the 6,000 PG, 3,500 research PG. So this is the calculation. Every year we change the denominator according to the numbers that we have.
Yang second column, yang 4 decimal place tu, dia punya markah.
Markah 0.99, yes.
The chapter in a non-cited book is 0.0006.
Yes.
That's the lowest, lah.
No, that's lowest, yes.
Index proceeding pun 0.00. How do they arrive at these numbers?
Okay. See, the numbers expected, I mean the maximum marks. Okay, what they are expecting is basically one maximum mark for this section. Okay, so you divide by the number of staff plus PG.
Staff plus
PG. Okay, and then you multiply with the achievement that you have this year. So that's basically, if let's say you have one publication in research, index research, then you got 0.99.
the minimum lah.
Do you know?
Minimum.
Basically, they are expecting that we have one publication per staff.
Ini customized number ke? Maksudnya localized number to your context?
Yes, because like we divide into according to a denominator.
So for example lah, dia number 22 dan 23 tu. Kalau research, dia lebih kurang 2 kali ganda lah.
Ya, lebih kurang 2 kali.
Kalau tak research, dia 6. Begitu.
Which one? 23, eh?
22,
22, yes.
And then for 24, number of case studies published, itu lagi banyak. But I'm trying to understand where does this number come from?
The number here come from, we're talking about first, you say that the more, let's say for case studies, okay, case studies are mainly in medical or legal fraternities.
Management?
And management. So those kind of case studies are what more readers. Because like here,
How do they know there are more readers? Domo baru tulis baru ni. Dia kata dia punya less than 10 people read. Anyway, my point, because I want to establish the point that why do we knock down Myra? Itu cek reason je lah pasal apa. So back to the question of methodology lah.
that's methodology.
So we cannot knock down because dia kata because you are not good in Myra, so you tak suka lah. I don't want that kind of question. We have got some other reasons why we don't accept Myra. Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
thanks.
Okay, we go to the next one. The next one shows that on next. Okay, this is the G6A. Okay, I think I mark it in red there. Establish new community project. Okay, so establishing new community project. Okay, giving you much more marks.
Itu banyak. A
Banyak
lot more. Bukan much. A lot more. 1 point.
So that's why we are saying that this is one community project, especially new community project, giving you about 75 journals. Because 0.99 to 74. So the marks in G6A and B is very high. It's capped at 100%. 100%. Okay, now we can go next slide.
So kalau kita, kalau kita just concentrate on establishing new community project ni je, we can do good lah.
Tak cukup juga.
I have been questioning this calculation ni. Dia, if I understand correctly, why suddenly this one become higher is because in this section ni, the expectation of Myra is low. Myra punya expectation from university is low. Myra expect kita untuk publish the section B and C kot yang paling yang wajib.
The conventional one lah.
Correct.
First tier, second tier.
Correct.
Kan?
Jadi this one dia expect apa ni in term of total weightage, maybe this one is maybe 5%, 10%. I'm not sure. I do not have the now.
5%.
This only 5% je daripada 100% tu. So if you
13,
score
13.
million kat sini pun, you only get 5.
Okay, just like this, Prof. Okay, there are two sections that says the mark is high. Okay, one is this section, community. Okay, the other section is in innovation, where we sell patents, patent make money. Okay, because like what we are saying that the research, okay, you say you publish lots of papers. Okay, however, that the one that really impact, okay, giving impact to the community or the industry will be very small. Okay, so that's why the expectation in this section are lower. So in fact, the section here you're talking that benchmark that giving impact for the community, it be only 60 saja. I mean that for per university. So that's why maybe in the Communiversity then we can do that.
So now that the sentiment dah tukar, talking about community engagement. So this, a lot more people will do this now. Right? So the expectation now is going to be high. Will the number change?
Okay, no, the number mean that they will be capped basically for the percentage of marks is 13 and the expected of project is 60. So let's say we can go at the moment our university for the last 2 years, okay, we have about 52 projects. Okay, ongoing project 52. Okay, in fact for this year for 2022 we also get 52 project because like the project ended. Okay, and then continue. We only have about 52 projects. We never get full marks as well. 60. Okay, so and also
how many projects would you need for a full mark?
60 project.
60 project. Oh, 10 lagi je. Not that difficult. 178.
That's why we are approaching Sejahtera to register the project. You don't register, you don't get marks.
Tapi maknanya saya rasa dia punya assumption tak betul lah.
The assumption is like this. It's basically there are a number of research been done. Okay, and it's easier to publish. Okay, then however from the publish that catch the attention of industry and community. Okay, where we go to the next stage, whether to be to go to industry as a products or to be to benefit the community is very small. In fact, I think if you go to innovation, you're talking about 1% or 2%. Okay, that make it into the next stage. So the numbers they are deriving from that.
If what Tan Sri is championing ialah, number one is we need to lobby supaya the weightage of each section to be recalibrated. Meaning that now, if now section G ni dia hanya bagi I don't know now how many percent.
13%.
13. You kena lobby dia supaya naik jadi 25%, for example. Itu the first one that you have to do. Kalau this is a very serious, ministry is very serious lah. So when you do that, then this apa ni currency ni will change a little bit lah. Will change a little bit. Maknanya we need more. We need more what you call it projects to achieve that.
Yes.
But that is number one. Number two, if the ministry is serious about impact, then in the publication section tu pun dia kena put different weightage. Publication yang lousy, publication yang ada impact, publication yang that same thing. Jadi then we are talking about total reform. Itulah.
Of course, Prof. I think there are other slide that talk about that. In fact, for the publication as well, for Myra 2, they only consider as journal with high citation. However, we also understand citation also there is a game in citation. Okay, so the methodology is not correct, but Myra 2 only consider Q1 and Q2. Okay, so ours is anything index.
Citation dengan readership ni dia lain. Citation, one fellow will cite, but you may have got 5 readers. But
it's like this. Because I go through because Scopus and also Web of Science, the the numbers of how many citations given freely is under open source, open data. Okay, so I can see, let's say I'm checking mine. If let's say how many people cite my work, mean that they are using my work, okay, in their research, okay, either in publication and other publications. So this is what citation is. So if like a reader mean that's why you can say that like in newspaper journals, in newspaper, not academic journals. In newspapers, they might read your paper, okay, but they don't cite because like in newspaper they don't write who are the originator. Okay, whereas for academic writing, okay, whenever that we use any data or any whatever from other people, any opinion of other people, we must cite.
Yeah, but the purpose of citing and reading is, the purpose of publishing is to pass on information.
Yes.
How they do it is not our business lah. So my newspaper article a week misalnya, kalau ikut newspaper Straits Times punya circulation, maybe 1 million. I've got 1 million reader every week. My miserable article that goes to the tier 1 tu, maybe read by, katalah 50,000 pun cukup lah, which is impossible. But the number of people who gain from that information is a lot more.
That's why this is the flaw in the methodology. Because the flaw in methodology is because we are talking about academic kind of citation. I mean that if let's say you want to use it in the thesis or in the next own publication, that you must cite. Whereas for journalism, it is not necessary so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Citation dalam surat layang tak pakai ya?
Tak pakai.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Next one. Next. So continue. Okay. So basically, this is the one that we didn't get before. Because before I take over, okay, you have to give this for G6B. You have to give this narrative. Okay, let's say that what you have done has impacted the community. Mean that you have empowered the community. Mean that number 5, penghakupayaan. Okay, and how to do and how they expect that is that by a narrative. Okay, that and in fact I think all the RMCs at that time what I've been told. Okay, that nobody want to do this because at the end of the day, Myra ada one administrator, okay, who are calculating the numbers, but nobody actually doing the narrative to say that this is B. So that's why B now, okay, what we have done, okay, in oil as well is what is being carried over. Okay, mean that you have done 1 year and then this second year is still ongoing, then we consider as B. Okay, so this is due to, I think we can go, I can go next slide here. Okay, so because this is the based on this is the one that is envisioned, okay, by the committee who are doing this. Okay, so basically you're talking a multiplier effect. Okay, so for this section G is networking and linkages. So you start with MOU and MOA. Okay, so it is when the MOU and MOA is linked, okay, then it can lead to research projects. Okay, that research project will give you this principal investigator, which is section B. Okay, research funding section C, technical report section C, and also other publications. So this is what the research project will give an output. Okay, and then also research project will also give give a KTP and the knowledge transfer is also awareness program to the community. So that's section G, community, and also the case study section C. So this is how a multiplier effect that is envisioned, okay, by the original committee. So this is an example of where UNIMED Malaysia signs an MOU with UNDP, okay, for this project, and this is the multiplier scenario that is envisioned. So this is why this section G6 is here. Okay, then I can go to the next one here.
So each multiplier effect has different value. Macam traveling student. and
Yes,
Different value.
different value. Basically, traveling session, students, student sponsorship, research give a smallest value. But joint authorship, okay, is higher value.
Yeah, Prof. Hafiz, he used to say kalau kita buat community project, kita punya markah boleh berlipat kali ganda compared to publication.
Yes, that's why one research, one community project is 74 times publication.
Yang tadi tu lah.
Oh, yang tadi itu. Oh, okay,
But
okay.
there's a cap to that kan, Prof? There's a cap to that lah. Because it's only to the max you go is 13%. Walaupun kita tak penuh pun, it's only 13% of the whole markah for 100%.
Why the cap?
Because the emphasis on community engagement is so much less than publication, etc.
But kalau dia punya expectation tu is low, maknanya dia nak encourage orang buat, lepas tu tak ada cap lah.
Okay, that's what we are looking for. So because ada lagi, tak gerak pula.
Cuma faham kalau katakan we want to push yang macam Prof Fahri kata kita nak tambah the cap tu, I mean that percentage tu, sini what can we suggest?
Okay.
This part ni.
Okay, like this. Basically, if let's say we want to have this community project, let's say instead of starting with MOU and MOA, okay, we put a multiplier effect starting from the Usra in Action. Okay, instead Usra in Action is not a research based, it's a community engagement. Okay, where we engage. Okay, after we engage, okay, then we can start with formal signing of MOU. We can do some projects and so on. So basically, we're talking about need first. That's my suggestion here.
Macam yang bintang 3 tu lah. I mean, bintang 3 tu become the first points of
The first one, yes.
Okay.
So here, because they see it from MOU, MOA from point of view lah, because it is the experience of the one who are doing this. At the moment, Tan Sri, we are still trying to get into this committee, because the committee of Myra is only, the members are only open for RU.
Tapi RU punya status working with the committee tak hebat lah.
So that's why they don't have any publication.
Sebab tu committee not given a right currency. Okay.
Okay, boleh go next. Tolongkan. Gerakkan. Tak ada lagi, ada lagi. Sikit. Okay, so this is where we are now. Basically, we have about number of 16 of new. This is last year, 2021. 16 community. Okay, and number of community is 52. So the marks is 1.56. So basically, and also 2.03. This is our marks.
No depan dia apa?
Number.
Oh, number.
Maksudnya out of 15 we've got 1.5 and 2.3.
Yes.
Walaupun 30% pun, but we still far.
Yes. Okay. Next. So that's why. Let's
Yang
say
15 tu apa ni?
mana?
16
The
tahu?
full marks. Full marks. 15.
So we are still at 1.56 achievement compared to the full mark 15.
Oh.
Dan kalau kita nak tukar pun, our existing pun jauh lagi.
Tak sampai lagi. Okay.
Yeah, discouraging people. Okay.
Okay, so this is the score definition. Basically, section A is calculating the denominator. Okay, so you can see that the orange one is 13% is the networking and linkages. Networking and linkages will also include the MOU, MOA. Okay, where the the staff, academic staff, are chairman of certain committee. So these are the networking linkages as well. So this included in networking linkages. But we are talking just community, just
Macam mana you mean 10% bar is bigger than 15% bar? Wonder. Okay, okay.
Section G
Tadi tu lah,
Untuk-
1.6.
no, we got I think about 6, if not mistaken. 13%, yes. Still, we are saying that we are unsatisfactory
For 13.
for the section G.
G lah.
Yang the other two ni yang greater than 200%.
Okay,
Apa tu?
section B. Okay, section B to section I've got the notes here. Okay, section B to section E. Okay, you can up to 200%.
Wow.
I mean that even though it's 22% here, but you can actually score 44%.
Quite complicated.
100%.
One
You cannot double lah.
you cannot be, section F and section G. Section F is the innovation, okay, and also section G is the networking linkages. So those two are lower expectation, only 100%.
Kalau lah katakan kita nak increase community engagement, how do we calibrate? What can we suggest yang others?
Just draw a bigger bar.
No, it is something similar to this. We are talking about we don't need to cap for any of the any of that. Okay, if let's say we don't cap, mean that if let's say the university is more on community, they will have score higher marks there.
Macam marking untuk yang markah teaching learning. So it's up to you where do you want to specialize in.
However, again, because this is on research based, so mean that even now, okay, because we have a small number of staff, okay, who are doing active in research. So basically, the pool is small. So if let's say our pool is small, okay, so the one who to go to the next stage is also smaller. Okay. Then I think that's all for me. So thank you very much. I think I hope.
Before that, three things, Kali. If you were to improve, what are the three things that you think we can improve?
Okay. Number one is we have to give a very good, very good narrative. Let's say the multiplier effect that we have just now. Okay, this is something that we need to put it as our argument. Okay, where how community, okay, that can research in the university. Okay, in this case here, they put an argument of MOU, MOA. Okay, that's why this section. So if let's say the community, we want to have our own section. Okay, then we should have that kind of narrative. And number two, I think this is the one that I last time, even in many meetings that I attended, okay, we are asking the ministry, okay, not to put a cap, because we are saying that every university is different. Okay, so we don't have. That's why we are trying to get into the committee yang RU saja, exclusive members.
Number 3 ada?
Tak ada, tu saja. That's two.
Sorry, Pak Majid, nanti nak. Yang nombor 2 tu maksudnya if we can develop that CE is the impetus, then the other will come lah. That's
Yes.
what you mean by
Yeah.
multiplier. Hafiz ada?
Okay. Hafiz, any comments and suggestion for this?
Actually, Tan Sri, we already gone to all the kuliah, and each of the kuliah have give us their some sort like what you call it, what they want to do last year. So we will review back and see whatever they promise, whether they do it.
Okay.
And now we also emphasize the dean to actually talk to their lecturers regarding this. Right.
Anybody else have any comments on it? Let's say Aminah is here. Dia kata case study tu is banyak markahnya. Aminah, you have written 2 case study books. How difficult this is?
But that one is for administrators, Tan Sri. It's not calculated in the Myra.
Oh, itu pula lah. Oh, dia mesti akademik ke?
Yeah.
One academic. Academic more than happy, man. To work.
I think that we also have a number, like say for self-pad DG stuff also doing that, we also don't count.
Okay. So these are the things that we need to do when we do communiversity. Maknanya kita don't want to constrain it only to academics. Community service means anybody who can do the service,
Yes.
as long as they're staff of the university lah, gitu.
Of course. The thing is like then we make our denominator is bigger, so each achievement to smaller. So that's why when we calculate this last time, I think on the PI sheet, so we try to include the DG stuff as well, because like we know that a number of DG stuff also PI. Okay, have some number, but then when we do based on denominator, okay, it become less.
In my case, how do you turn me around to be a Myra contributor?
Because you're writing in popular articles,
Yeah, but I'm not an academic. I am an administrator in a sense.
For you is you are academic staff.
Oh, yeah.
Declaring your
That's right. I will kata you cannot because you are a rector. A rector by virtue is an administrator. Although I'm an academician in a sense, lah. It's a question of definition. Good.
rector deputy rector gitu.
Okay. Just a curiosity. All right.
Kejap Tan Sri. Kalau yang undergraduate memang tak masuk langsung kan?
Undergraduate tak masuk.
Then the Usra
But-
National is very
Tapi Usra in Action, the supervisor that Malaysia will get.
Bagi Communiversity ni kita tak boleh buka ke? Kita boleh buka untuk even to undergraduate, tapi kita cap lah. In other words, at least, you know.
I think we have to do a simulation first
Okay
to
lah.
see how much that it will give us advantage.
probably the main difference that I would foresee how we would like to propose the community propose. That's it.
Would be on this reliance on the only quantitative. If you see just now, the community project, the unit is number of projects. Doesn't matter the project saves lives of 100 people or another project just collect rubbish at the street. So I think the way we would approach Communiversity appraisal is we would go for more qualitative and compared to quantitative, but we would allow also some room for qualitative when there is a quantitative, when there is a need for it. Tapi Myra lah, the main issue with Myra is it's only quantitative. Doesn't matter your research bagus mana pun, dengan research macam mana pun, dia same. The weight is the same. So that's a very big issue. Sometimes demotivate good researchers. So yeah, and then probably I don't know if we want to ask a very big question that so many people ask from me. If we look at our ranking, individual ranking for your IIM staff, because we are ranking IIM staff according to Myra points, and you can see every year there's one staff that basically the marks is much higher compared to other staff. So a lot of people are asking this actually. but so far we have not yet get any answer. Who is the highest achiever of Myra in IIM and why he's getting that points all the time? Every year, always wins the Myra achievement points. I don't know why.
Pasal dia boleh bring forward.
No, it's yearly punya achievement. So every year you'll basically, yeah. I know the reason why, but maybe Prof. Ami is the right one to explain it. I think this is a question that a lot of people ask. Sometimes it demotivates those who really wants to score Myra, but suddenly realize that I cannot win against this individual, for example.
Okay, when we put the marks, it's not about ranking. It's about to realizing your contributions. Okay, it's not ranking. It's just realizing that how much that you contribute. Okay, so basically, there are a number of factors. Number one is if let's say you are scoring, okay, in the area of either G or F, which is innovation, where you got your patent. Okay, file your patent and your patent can be sold. Okay, that will give you very high marks. Similarly, okay, if let's say you have a project in KTP, okay, that also will give you high marks as well. It's a community-based project. So those two are very high. And the other one that is also giving very high contributions, okay, is if you have your paper, okay, that is highly cited. Okay, so we have our researcher here who managed to work, okay, in a very prestigious laboratory, Sun Labs in Switzerland. Switzerland. Okay, so that's why, because everything I want to see on particle physics, okay, they will search, okay, article from the lab. So because of that, they always have high citation. And the lab, what call this? The lab policy is that everybody in the lab is a contributor. So basically, you can see whoever in the lab will be co-authors. So, walaupun beratus.
Lagi ramai lagi banyak, lagi ramai lagi bagus.
That's why we are saying that it depends. Okay, because we have a case as well. Okay, the staff, yes, because he do real research there. Okay, but there are also other citation that who have similar policy. Okay, just that you are answering a survey. So you consider as contributor and also part of become co-authors. So that's why this citation. But then again, the citation will be only for 5 years. So because he will be finishing very soon. So with that also our Myra marks also will go down.
Yeah,
very drastically.
that's my issue. That is my issue with these quantitative measures. We just take whatever number, a citation, etc., and without regards whether he actually wrote the paper or really people are referencing to the paper or not. And suddenly we, during our an event that everyone's looking for, like the event of Quality Day, we give basically we give appreciation to all these people who simply contribute to the numbers without really sharing what is the actual impact or what is the actual contribution of the staff. So I would say that the framework that we're going to propose will be not just quantitative, will be also qualitative, where you have to have the narrative of what is the impact. So inshallah, I'll present after this. Yeah. So that's the main issue. But I also have to just say what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
It's been a long time.
Actually, there's no mark for impact. If let's say we can do that, qualitative means that we can count 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever. Then we can see. But then the impact. This where I think during the Melaka event we asked Prof. Azura to look into this impact. I already asked during the NCPI. None of the university have this. If let's say we can develop this, that's going to be good. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
The next, Izzat, boleh?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Prof. Tan Sri, members of this Istidamah seminar. Alhamdulillah, my role here is to share with you about the Setara, which is known as Sistem Penarapan Terpadu Institusi Pendidikan Tinggi Malaysia. Okay. Alhamdulillah, we just finished the Setara audit exercise last year, August, immediately after the convocation. And then we're still waiting for the result of that exercise auditing. Okay.
How long does it take, sir?
Pardon?
How long does it take to?
Waiting for the new minister lah to announce.
Oh.
Okay. With regard to this today's afternoon's themes, focusing on Communiversity, Devising Sejahtera-based measurement for responsible research. So my presentation will encapsulate on the Setara items related to the community engagement. Okay, before that, I would like to share with you about the Setara. Setara is an instrument developed by KPT, which initially was under MQA back in 2007. If you remember, we do have the Setara, and then we have the Setara, which the Setara they are renting their rate on the discipline of the studies. And after that, in 2017, after the establishment of MAB, so the Setara exercise is placed under KPT, is not under MQA. And then according to them, there are 4 domains that they want to assess, which is on the teaching and learning as part of research and innovation, as well as services. Other than that, is on the demography of the strength of the university itself, including staff, students.
Tak ada teaching learning.
Ada. Myra is focusing more on 100% research. But in Setara, there is a component of research. Okay. So it's not like Myra. The instrument or the methodology they use is more on rating, not ranking. So they have formulated 6 level or tier of rating, which number 6 is highly competitive, whereas the number 1 is less competitive. For IIM, we managed to secure since 2007 tier 5 until now, and they are, according to their methodology, they got 3 categories of entry.
Berapa lama dah kita on tier 5?
Tier 5 since 2007.
2007.
Okay. According to Setara framework, they divided into 4 major components: general items, teaching and learning, research item, and also services. They also divided in the different weightages according to the status of the university itself. Those universities that more than 15 years old, they consider as a mature university, so the weightage will be different. As for the university that is less than 15 years, they call it under emerging university, whereas they also have this weightage proportion for the college university. So if you look at us, we fall under mature universities, which the proportion is 40% for general items, 30% for teaching and learning, while research only 20%, and others services they only capture 10% the weightage.
How do these differ from a research university? Kalau research university tu, dia matured university, JUSM, tapi dia punya proportion tu sama dengan kita.
Dia sama, Tan Sri.
So di mana research?
Tapi advantage dia dapat weightage, dia got more score lah on the research component.
Out of the 20%.
Yep. Okay. Okay, this is the detail of the indicators, or not indicators, the component that set under each domain. For general, they want to measure about the diversity and the quality of students, whether it is undergraduate and also postgraduate. And then they also want to see the strength of our lecturer capabilities, including their staff recognition. In this item, normally they will check the awards that are received by our staff, as well as the affiliation of their professional bodies with the industry punya ni lah. And other than that, is more on the number 4 tu, under general quality management system. They want to know how much certification that relate to the quality management system been implemented in the university. And number 5, under general, they want to look at our strength in terms of wakaf, endowment, and our sustainability in terms of financial operating expenditure as well. And number 6 ni, Tansi, they're coming back to the ranking jugalah. Normally JPT atau KPT, they will get the information related to ranking. Dalam case, in this case, institutional reputation, they will cross check with the QS juga.
Nombor 6 tu.
Yep.
Reputational.
Okay.
QS dia yang kontak.
QS, for time being QS. Yeah. Dia markah tu, we just because the method they use, we just self-declare our numbers. But at the end, the marks they will generated at the secretariat level, but they don't share the marks. They only share the results.
Maksudnya 40 bagi 6.
40.
General 40%. Right?
Okay.
So dia bagi 6.
No, there are different weightage inside. Yeah. Okay, under the domain of teaching learning, they want to see our diversity of our academic staff, whether it composed of international and local. And
ini I think this is the thing that we want to argue. Kalau cakap local dengan ini ni, for example lah, in America, most of them are Americans, kan? Tapi kalau kita sini, most of them Malaysian, tapi with different degrees. Pakistan, segala benda degree ada kita. Tapi semuanya Malaysian. Whereas kat American, dia mungkin in multinational, most of them are American degrees. So how do you define this diversity, so to speak?
In this case, Tansi, because based on the master list required by them for us to declare, only define into that two, Malaysian and international. So from there, they will filter it according to the status. But in terms what you have mentioned just now, maybe we need to communicate with the secretariat about our request ataupun our intention.
Yeah. Because bagi saya lah, the diverse university dia datang, the better.
Yeah.
Walaupun dia Malaysian, tapi dia pengalaman tu as compared to Bangladesh, Pakistan, tapi semua from American degree je. So that's the argument I used to have with QS lah.
Yeah.
Dia tak setuju. Okay.
And then for the item 2, student satisfaction, this one they gathered it from their general survey, which they email it to our graduates, because in our master list we also put our email, our students' email, finally graduating email students, for them to get the survey filled up by them. Okay. And then for item quality graduates, this one they normally want to look at our they want to see the entry requirement that fulfill or enroll to our program lah. For example, like they want for postgraduate, they want to know how many of them are 3 points above, as well as undergraduate also they want to see on that. So this one they would just want to know the strength the
quality of graduate ni bukan more of the exit punya criteria, attributes ke, rather than entry punya. He may be a dumb, slow, late bloomer, tapi dia sudahnya dia pass dan bagus. Apa yang kita tengok, before ke after?
They look at both of. They also want to check the GOT as well in this item.
Oh.
So
might as well we play around with our grading system so that we can get students with yeah.
True.
Maybe this is the time to bring up, I think Prof. Haris mungkin dah bawa kot. Dapat rector's list, tapi dia 6 tahun baru berijazah. Compared to orang dapat rector's list tapi 4 tahun. Dia betul-betul GOT.
Better.
Jadi maknanya saya asalkan dapat saya 3.6, I can stay in university for 10 years. Sudahnya rector's list. Tak hebatlah rektornya. So I think the rector list maybe in our Senate we need to talk about this. The first time, first attempt dapat 3.6 baru rector list. Dah 12 tahun 3.6 dah tak rector lah. But I was told the definition is different.
The same with the Dean's list, right? That's right. Dean's list we give to those who get 3.5 and above. Whereas some other universities, they have certain number percentage of students only can get Dean's list. Yeah, yeah, top 20 or top 10.
Yeah.
But ours we give to anybody.
Yeah, I think ours better lah, more democratic. Tapi kalau extend sampai 10 tahun buat 3.6, tak first attempt 3.6, I think that should be okay. Yeah.
Time doesn't necessarily determine quality of learning.
Yang this guy ni dia fail 3 kali. Sebab tu dia 6 tahun. Ada dapat rektor sendiri lah.
Okay, see about the quality graded also, they also look at the employee employee survey lah. They normally shoot out the survey to our employees, employer who employed our students. We give their email address, and then KPT normally they email it to them, and then they answer the survey. Okay. And then next one is about internationalization of academic program. This most of the item is they are looking at the mobility and also the twinning program, whether we have or not. But right now we don't have any franchising, because they also list out any kind of program that offered by IIM, including twinning, joint degree, franchise, and offshore.
Micro credential?
Micro credential, dia appear dalam, they capture for the current ni they capture Tan Sri for the micro credential.
Not under 4.
Yeah, not under 4.
Okay.
Okay, next for item program recognition, this one anything that listed under MQR, National Qualification Registry, they will consider it. This one the data taken direct from MQA. And then since you mentioned about micro credential, it fall under lifelong learning items, including a MOOC. Okay. And then under the domain of research capacity, most of the data that captured, the Secretariat of Setara, they take it directly from MyRA data instead of we fill up it manually. So whatever performance MyRA captured, then they will appear here. And then the last one about the service and income generation, they know for item number 1, income from commercialization of ideas. This relate to any research product or any lab fees, also hospital fees collected by IM, they will fall under this item. And then coming to this afternoon punya Istidamah, Tan Sri, there is one element atau one item indicators that focusing on university social responsibility and also knowledge transfer program. They don't look in terms of quality, they just want to know the quantity. Yeah. Yeah. And then number 3 is any education or training program conducted by IIM fall under this one, Tan Sri. Okay, and then the last one, source of income, other collection collected by IIM, they will appear or reported under this item. Okay, I want this one skip. Okay, I would like to focus on the item number 4 with regard to the USR and KTP. Okay, coming back to the data that we have submitted for the last Setara exercise audit, we managed to capture the data for the 3 years, because for your information, Setara only collect data for 3 years. And then they will come back again another 3 years and do the auditing exercise. So in this case, for the last audit exercise, the Secretariat managed to collect data, and then this is the result of the collection gathered from for the Secretariat. Okay, for 2019, this is the number 1 ratio of academic staff to USR program and activities. We only managed to get a ratio 18 academic staff to 1 programs. Yeah, meaning that 18.1 ni ratio 18 staff to 1 program lah kan. And yeah, because the program itself dia program banyak, number of staff banyak tu. And then in 2020, 2021, the activity decreased because of pandemic tu. That's why the ratio to become bigger, because the number of staff to maintain. Yes. Okay. And then
namanya 2020 tu ratio tu naik because programnya kurang.
Yes.
Tapi kalau kita normalize lah kiranya, nombor tu naik ke turun?
Number of program ke?
Katakanlah number program tu remains at 114.
Okay.
Will the ratio increase?
The ratio maintain. Because number of staff tu dia tak fluctuate dah, dia maintain. Dia consistent.
And so it's for 2021?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 2, indicator number 2, number of KTP program project. The number itself tu dia increasing lah. Quite interesting because the number increasing even though during the pandemic. That is one of the observation that we look at, because maybe most of the owner of the program.
I'm not happy with your answer. Macam mana you tahu the number of academic maintain? The number of academic may drop.
Okay, Tan Sri, this is the auto-generated number figures, where at the section number 1 tadi tu, we put up the populations.
Okay.
Okay. So most probably the population dia drop, tapi I need to check back the source of data lah, Tan Sri.
Oh, so it's auto-generated, the number tak drop.
So we need to look at the number of staff tu dulu, Tan Sri. There's a figure.
Okay.
Okay, for your information, Tan Sri, most of the item we self-declared using the MyHer, Malaysian Higher Education Rating System. So we just put in the figures and then the system itself calculate it. Yeah. Formula tak tahu. Because this one they just developed it last year, Tan Sri, by USM, and then maybe after this they will do a postmortem how to improve the system. Okay, item number 2, based on our declared data, we just put 12 for 2019. 2020 we just declared 16 projects, as well as in 2021.
What you're telling me, basically, USR is not a knowledge transferring program.
Dia ada grey area, Tan Sri, because knowledge transfer program merely on the research related project.
Oh.
In this case, they do give us a glossary and the knowledge transfer program which derive from research project that benefit community and industry. It can be a structured program documented, given with the approval and objective, and also the methodology, including the financial arrangement.
So how many of the USR are KTP? Tak ada?
In this case, we don't have that clear, but we just list up the program in which we want to have equal ataupun apa kata maybe they have apa nama tu, the subset ataupun dia ada redundancy lah, Tan Sri. But normally auditor dia akan question whether this one, based on your question tu, whether it is part of KTP or USR. But normally the owner of data will define it.
But from what little I know, masa dia buat symposium tu, dia ada problem analysis, dia ada gini-gini. It looks like
KTP.
yeah, KTP.
Hmm.
Kalau itu boleh kita kanwar, then the KTP will increase berpuluh kali ganda.
Betul. Tapi the other part of KTP we will get very low number because we already appear it under USR. If let's say we can double count.
Dia either or. Okay. Thank you. Right.
Okay, number 3 ni they want to look our funding.
Tapi dari segi markah mana yang pemberat lebih, USR ke KTP?
This one we don't have any detail, Tan Sri. We only have a domain punya weightage saja. Okay, the item 3 ni indicated they want to check our percentage with regard to our operational expenditure, how much that we receive for funding our USR and KTP programs. Okay. It can be the grant or the funding can come from outside. UIA itself providing grants or funding. Okay.
I still think, bagi saya lah, I say this boggling my mind. I think the question should be how many of your USR is KTP? Dia tak ada oh. Barulah boleh pakai dua-dua.
Okay. InsyaAllah Tan Sri we take note on that, Tan Sri. Okay, indicator number 4, more on the numbers of communities that benefiting to our USR and KTP program. This one, they want to see the participants who are attending the programs. So we got the master list and then we pump it into the system, the calculation do it they generate automatic.
Can a research project under RMC be categorized under USR or KTP projects? Boleh?
After listening what Prof. Amin mentioned, I think it can be part in these instruments.
Yeah, we have been separating research project dengan community project for all along.
Because currently, what data that we receive for USR, we take it from cash, and data from KTP, we take it from oil. So maybe in future we can take from RMC as part of these numbers.
RMC take the numbers from oil.
So I mean some projects, some research project kan under RMC, even if it's FRGS, grants under ministry, even if they are not under KTP, the FRGS, PRGS, there could be element of community engagement kan inside the project.
It's like this because I think because we developed KTP last time. KTP is knowledge gain, knowledge that you make through research, then you transfer. If let's say fundamental, when you start making the knowledge, they cannot transfer at that time because then you're transferring the unbaked, tak siap lagi, kan rosak pula.
But then you transfer somewhere else, good.
As of now, because that's why for just completed, when completed, then you can apply for KTP. I mean that the project is complete. I mean that somebody has evaluate through you will publish ke apa ke, then you can.
This KTP restricted to KTP grants only lah.
At the moment,
to only
yes,
KTP grants. Oh, okay.
Okay,
all right. But there could be other grants that also.
Yes, I think recently they have this grant. Yeah, the one that you have.
Communiversity, community engagement.
Ada number new grants. Okay, and also we also have Yayasan Hasanah and so on.
But what if the university conduct a knowledge transfer program without grants or self-initiated or self-funded punya project? Boleh ke? Is it counted as well? Ke mesti dapat grant KTP baru counted as?
No. Just KTP means that if from a completed research, it can be even your FYP ke? Okay, but I mean that the concept has already been proven somewhere in the lab ke, in the field. Okay, so then you can pass on knowledge transfer. It's not expertise. I mean that I know accounting, that I teach accounting. This is teaching. KTP grant. To be defined as KTP.
So this one is KTP grant.
At the moment kita ada KTP grant je lah.
Okay, this one, the snapshot of the MyHer tadi, which I mentioned just now about the system where we just key in the data, all numbers. Okay, this is our challenge lah. We need, maybe after this we need to have a coordinator in managing all related activity regard to USR and also KTP lah. Yeah. And we need to also have the procedure policy guideline in managing those activities. And then this is observation from the Secretariat. Our challenge is more on the monitoring and reporting of data, Tan Sri. Because data are so scattered, the owner itself, mostly they will capture it from KCDIO, and sometimes RMC also take the SMIDA source, which I think we need to have the proper mapping of the data related to these activities. And then again, Tan Sri, because setara ni, the conduct itself, dia 3 tahun sekali. So we don't have any proper reporting which conducted like Myra lah, because Myra they have a quarter regular reporting. So for us, we don't have that. We only have the data capture whenever the date given for auditing. Yeah. And then lastly, data collection about the dealing under reported data. Maybe when we assign coordinator in getting the data, maybe the data that we collected is not comprehensive. That's why maybe the figure that we key in the system is not high, because there are few data maybe it's not not shared by the KCDIO lah, related to the data based on the item indicators lah. And then in the future, we do foresee that the Secretariat of Setara maybe would like to extend the indicators, maybe the number of collaborations with regard to UTP and KPT, international and local, and number of participating, because if you look at the item tadi tu, more on the academic staff. We don't include any number untuk admin staff who engage with the KPT and USR.
I think that the terminology should be researcher.
Yeah.
Tak kira lah the academic ke,
Yeah.
administrator ke, even student in that sense.
Yes.
Should be anybody who contribute to knowledge should be counted. I think the other thing that you're missing here perhaps is verification. Who verifies all this data?
They are verified by the auditor. They come here and then they will check the data that we have submitted. Normally for the KPT and also USR, they want to see the list of attendance as well as the letter of LOA kan, KTP.
Basically, it's evidence-based. As long as we provide evidence.
So maknanya we already have an internal verification.
Yes.
Then the external datang will verify lah.
Yeah.
So that internal verification tu, I think you need to list it. Sekurang-kurang kita tahu kita dah safeguard kita punya data. Kalau misalnya you say only external, the assumption is maybe baru itu lah nak verify. Data is such that the moment dia dah masuk, garbage in, garbage out.
If we have a depository on evidence that full lah, Tan Sri, because normally when we do the self auditing ni baru nak cari the data lah.
Sebab tu dalam knowledge management system tu kita masukkan the verification, who verifies. Maknanya data yang dah masuk dalam database dah tak boleh dipersoalkan lah. Okay.
Okay, that's all Tan Sri for
the
the
challenges ni memang dah ada tiap-tiap tahun lah when you do this.
Dia bukan tiap tahun tapi 3 tahun sekali baru ada challenge.
Okay. 3 tahun sekali. I mean, no. Tahun because you're collecting the data every year. Although you're submitting it to whoever 3 tahun sekali, but your collection is almost every month.
That is the ideal approach lah, Tan Sri. But now when we get the audit date, then baru kita 3 tahun sekali.
Okay. All right, thanks. Any question? This one is very interesting, Setara ni. So kalau kita nak memperbaiki Setara ni, what are the 3 things that you think we should aim for?
To have a frequent data collections like what Myra team conduct now. Component wise, because it is about quantity, it's not about quality. That's why
quality graduate pun minta quantity.
Bila Myra collect data, dia tak boleh share dengan you kan? Maknanya data Myra dengan data Setara tak boleh dikongsikan. Tak ada yang
Myra, that one component yang under research tu, Myra can share lah. But other than that tu is different item.
Tak macam KTP tadi, knowledge transfer tu. Walaupun dia tidak ada, tapi dalam dia punya collection dia boleh put that so that it lightens your it lightens your burden.
Yeah, true.
Kan?
Kalau katakan the keyword is responsible research. How do we pull out that? From which parameters that we can derive we are responsible research? Nak tarik kat mana yang mengesahkan or justify
because
that
right now the information or the data that we receive is just a list of program. We don't define it according to the what you are expecting to. Any program that have this component community engagement, we just list up in the system.
What's your definition of responsible research? And
responsible research is basically the participant involved, particularly the user, must be involved from day one until they habis.
But in this case, it's more on the community engagement.
Sebab kita pun ada masalah je, community service, community engagement dengan community transformation. Yang engagement ni yang ada knowledge transfer. Yang laluan tu tak ada lah.
Okay, based on experience masa audit Setara ni, saya pergi untuk yang sensor punya sebab kita hantar report untuk yang sensor punya report program. What they check is only they check apa detail yang community engagement yang kita buat report tu, and then dia nak detail everything and then report submit to them. So whatever you report in that, you bagi tahu, okay, contohnya report community engagement di depan Sejahtera Center. Dia nak report tu, bagi dia sebagai bukti.
Report ni maknanya official report.
Yes,
lah.
official report.
Dia tak boleh tulis
Dia
tangan.
akan random dia pilih, and then dia ambil dalam 10-5 dia terus audit. Yes. So basically saya bagi kita community engagement yang jenis community, every community engagement semua dia kira. And then dia kata dia target pada more to places. Kalau misalnya ada 2-3 tempat, dia kata asingkan, dapat banyak point. Sebab social responsibility tu pada tempat tu maksud community kawasan tu.
Tapi dalam proses kita menghasilkan report adalah salah satu daripada proses yang kita kena buat.
Yes, memang report tu kena, setiap program kan kena ada report untuk nanti kan. Yes.
Lah. Jadi tidak ada keadaan di mana tak ada report.
Yeah.
Assalamualaikum Mr. Chairman, Rector. May I add, I'm Fariza from Office of Industrial Links.
Where are you from?
Fariza from Office of Industrial Links, Rector.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I just want to add on knowledge transfer because as mentioned by Brother Johan, he mentioned about the report should be submitted, and basically the auditor will check the report. For all, on our part, if we refer to the templates given by the Setara Secretariat, it's clearly mentioned how much contribution, how much the grant. So that basically we at all, we will add the proof of collaboration and definitely with the amount. Let's say letter of award from for KTP RICS. Yang itulah kita akan, itulah bukti kami. Besides that, we also share the report, the progress report of project.
How difficult is it to come up with a report?
That's the struggle. That's the challenges, Director, because we need to follow up with the project leader. Basically, for KTP RICS, we normally ask our project leader to submit the progress report for every 4 months.
Yeah, can we? I mean, this writing business is a challenge now for us. Can we do, misalnya, they submit a report every week? That the weekly report could actually be compiled. I mean, it's just probably a 200 words kind of a thing. That's how I do my column anyway. Satu hari tulis 200 perkataan, 4 hari dapat 800, then one column. Siap. Sekali nak duduk 800, kadang-kadang dia tak ada idea. So if you do that kind of a practice, you probably can get better reporting. Does that sound practical?
Boleh diminta, tetapi mereka ni nak kelayan. Kalau kami minta tiap minggu macam tu, rektor sudahnya kena marah kami dia all. Saya dengan my staff ni dah puas ada macam-macam ragam. Kena marah sudahnya bila kita asyik minta dengan orang ni. Walaupun sebenarnya they know the purpose why we ask for the report.
Yeah.
But when you keep asking and follow up with them, then if we are enough, people orang kata yelah akan ni lah juga nanti. Itu cabaran kami lah, tapi yelah kerja kita kena hadap juga kan.
Okay, thank you.
Tan Sri, saya tambah sikit.
Okay, right.
Yes, sila.
Saya tambah sikit daripada staff saya tu. Maksudnya KTP ni kalau nak buat minggu-minggu tu Tan Sri mencabar kerana kadang-kadang kerja kan Dr. Zainal pun Tan Sri pun tahu kita kerja dengan industri dengan community dia perlukan masa. Yang pertama kepercayaan lah, trust tu. So kalau kita memang macam kita dengan TP Agama Bersatu, saya rasa Dr. Khalila akan present kejap lagi. Makan masa yang lama nak gain the trust. Dah dapat trust tu, buat apa pun boleh, tak ada masalah.
I think that's perfect. So, but the art of getting trust ni is not easy.
Exactly. Betul, dengan community memang kita dah lalui kan. Mula-mula dia tengok kita macam, dia ni nak apa sebenarnya datang sini? Nak apa ni? Kan? So dia kata dia mesti nak sesuatu dari kita ni. So kita put the trust, kita beri dia, give more without getting back. Dia mula-mula dah tu. Saya rasa 2 projek nanti saya rasa Dr. Khalila boleh tu kan? Boleh
listen to Khalila.
InsyaAllah.
Sebelum tu, Zainal, I mean, macam Tan Sri was asking about way forward for Setara ni. If we have the option to suggest, so maybe I think the ministry should look into more, since they're talking about holistic education. So kenalah ada some element of holistic education tu. Maybe values, maybe whether we are producing graduates that are creative. Kan kita dah ada benda tapi tak ada dalam, tak timbul dalam tu. They're talking about it, ministry talking about we want to produce soft skill, tapi tak timbul dalam tu kan. And then talking about sulam, special learning, dia tak timbul dalam tu. Dia talking about it tapi assessment dia tak timbul.
Dia pasal tak ngerti. Integration of knowledge, that's another one. You know, so maybe we can list out lah what are the 5 things that needs to be quote unquote mentioned. The holistic. Saya kalau ni, kita kadang-kadang gunakan apa yang kita dah ada tapi disguise je lah. Kita can use our hire. Tapi jangan tulis hire, matilah kita. Kepimpinan, and then kita translate gitu. You know, I think that we are not cheating but make it more holistic lah in a sense. Yeah. Okay.
Current tool dia tak ada. Supposed to be there. It's supposed to be there. Itu je.
Okay. Khalila, sila. You
Assalamualaikum.
were the first one to hit the lights lah. Maksud kita gila-gila tu kan. You quietly, I think you scored a goal that we didn't know. So
Finally,
that
the
was a
Tan Sri
motivation.
Team,
I think we
Alhamdulillah.
need to recognize that. So what has happened? Is the light still on?
Currently ada yang jual makcik jual batik tu, she had to move back to her house sebab pandemic kan. But then yang jual sambal tu masih keep going lah. When we have some programs, we still purchase from her. Tapi as far as the program is concerned, because it was a leadership-based program on cultural heritage, the heritage businesses to still maintain as they are. Even some of them use the promotional materials that the students designed, help them to design masa the project.
I want to stop you there because the Prime Minister mentioned dalam dia punya penulisan tu ada orang masih mendewa-dewakan nilai tempatan yang lain tanpa melihat, yang talking about the cultural thing, tanpa melihat apa yang kita ada untuk to do. Then I remember this quote, di sinilah kita perlu berubah. So he was talking about look east policy lah. Of course, before that was Western look east policy. But I also thought that we also Middle East policy pun ada juga. So maknanya how is it that we can bring back exactly what you're saying, the cultural content yang kita ada ni. I think that's a struggle. Okay, go ahead.
If I may share a short video about our U4S project, about less than 2 minutes. Kalau Sister Ida boleh.
Ini bila punya ni?
Okay, this project is under University for Society yang tim saya dapat on my team did with Dr. Azami did on Ruang Sejahtera Makerspace, and then Prof Azura buat on urban farming. So for this particular project Ruang Sejahtera, it was actually funded by U4S grant. U4S kita dapat dalam 24,000 something plus KTP RICS grant 10,000 plus another small grant from Pfizer 3,500, so a total of about 37,000 to furnish the space and also to do the modules and the running of the activity.
You mentioned Pfizer.
Yes, Pfizer is
Pfizer,
one of
the
the pharmaceutical company, our MOU partner. Okay. There is sound ke?
Ini semua KAED ke?
Tak, campur. Majority KAED, kita ada Tazami from engineering dengan tim Sci-Tech, kita ada Dr. Baiduri from communications.
Can you give the context sikit tak? Oh, this is what this di rumah ke, di sekolah ke?
Okay, so this project is actually a communal space dekat bawah flat PPR Gombak Setia, and our targeted group is actually kelab belia, because macam project Prof Azura urban farming, dia target kepada the elderly community dengan pusat aktiviti warga emas. So being in the creative field, so we thought that belia is the untapped market lah, segment ataupun respondent segment. So they had this mungkin boleh show presentation slide, an abandoned tadika yang JKM dah lama tak guna, and then initially we wanted to do mural project dekat outdoor, but then we thought that if we just do mural project, they still wouldn't have a space to do activity, and if we were to do maybe outdoor garden, I would love to do outdoor garden for them, tapi without a proper indoor activity, indoor space, they still wouldn't be able to do anything. So together with Kelab Belia PPR Gombak Setia, which they just established during the pandemic, Kelab Belia sebelum tak ada in 2020, they started to establish Kelab Belia ni because they wanted to help people masa pandemic tak ada kerja, tolong sanitize rumah, So diorang ni suka macam bila gotong royong panggil turun untuk edarkan makanan. They like those sort of things. So when we discuss with them, we thought that, you know, what are the activities that belia can do? And then
Them
we
ni
did,
siapa?
yeah,
Them ni siapa?
kelab belia. So these are youth age from 15 to 35. Tapi persatuan ni most of them are late 20s to early 30s lah. So some of them kerja, mungkin ada yang ada kedai komputer, bengkel motosikal, kerja jadi barista. So various type of work, ada yang tak ada kerja. And because they talk to DBKL if the space can be converted into a communal space. And then DBKL said boleh, because JKM didn't have any future plans for it. So we transformed that into what we call Ruang Sejahtera. So
And the work then 32 was that space that you were.
yes, over the
Well, it
course
looks
of about 1
awfully
year.
clean, very clean.
Oh, itu yang Dr. Azami cakap. Kita nak dapatkan dia punya kerjasama, feedback, even to respond to WhatsApp takes a lot of patience and time. Kan, to really get them to share with us what is it that they need, because sometimes they also don't know apa yang dia perlukan kan. And then that's why when we have Adab Youth Garage, an NGO, Adab Youth Garage has worked with, I think in KL dia ada 7 PPR dipanggil Ruang Selamat. So they do this Ruang Selamat because they found that children in PPR don't have enough space untuk belajar kat rumah because it's so small. They don't have a space to do homework, and then it actually initiated from because they found that balik sekolah budak-budak lepak isap rokok. So this concept of Ruang Selamat, they do for students to do like after school work and lepak in a good way lah. So diorang akan ajak budak-budak tu solat Jumaat, even read Quran, so things like that. And then from Adab Youth Garage was actually where we learned that masa mula-mula nak engage, rather than kita terus masa tengah online, kita tak dapat kita ingat nak terus buat online workshop, nak buat macam suai kena online kan. Kita no doktor, go down on the ground, meet them face to face. And then at that time Adab Youth Garage, they receive 100 food packs from Sunway. Dia kata, okay, we reserve this 100 food pack for you to give to Kelab Belia. So from then we sort of entrusted them untuk cari 100 orang asnaf, 50 kat block 43, 50 kat block 41, leave it to them, and kita just jadi orang tengah. So that was the first time that we met up with them to meet physically without talking about the project, just to physically meet kan. And then slowly from there, we learned from them that do initial engagement, discuss dulu, tanya apa nak, few times lah. I think throughout the course of over 1 year, we even diverted the direction of the project. Still doing something creative, but rather than doing just a mural outside, kalau ikutkan masa mula-mula kita cakap dengan Presiden Persatuan Penduduk, dia excited lah nak pintu masuk, dapat mural macam anti dadah, komuniti selamat kan. But then after looking into what would be more potential to be done is actually to transform the space. So I'll share you in a glance about
Sekejap, I got another question ni yang apa ni, the activity in the room that you showed tu is your lectures to the student yang apa tu members apa, these are the orang kampung.
Betul, orang community. So we did through this before we transform the Ruang Sejahtera, what you see yang dah cantik ada furniture dengan sofa tu, that is actually within the final month. So masa mula-mula tu we equip with meja, kerusi, and we did the mural. And then even when we do mural, it's not just we do and bring our students to do for them. We did what we call macam bila place making activity ni, kita akan tanya mereka apa sense yang dia nak pada community. So dia kata dia nak community rasa pride in the place. So they want the mural to show PPR. They want a sense of the greenness. They want to show a sense of community and diversity. And then we also ask them the types of mural that they like. So from that collectively, our team only helped to devise the artwork. And then so we wanted the mural to belong to them more than to us, because kita nak dia yang ada sense of attachment to the place. And then even when we teach them how to do the lakaran, we showed how to do the outline using projector, how to mix the color. Kita buat macam paint by numbers, so they don't feel overwhelmed of not having an art background. So that was the spirit lah. And then along the way, we implemented some module yang ni lah, menyokong proses pembelajaran with simple skills, like ajar macam mana nak buat mobile photography, macam mana nak buat video. Itu yang Pfizer came in because we were looking into apa common platform antara pharmaceutical company and community. So after looking at Pfizer, buat a bit of homework, they have actually engaged in community space building. So itu yang kita pitch this idea and then they agree lah. And then kita bring them in to teach on confidence, corporate communication, how to do CapCut. So participants tu daripada sekolah Selapat Indah, 70% are residents of PPR Humbat Setia. And then some of the workshops were joined by yang kelab belia ni, yang mana meniaga sandwich, yang mana kontraktor. So it was quite a diverse range lah. Ada kala sikit participant, but the show had to go on kan. Kalau kita ni, ada kala kita jumpa strategi untuk work together dengan sekolah, kita dapat a bit ramai. Because for U4S, we needed to measure this before and after. And this is the bintang, penarapan bintang lah yang we hope to get for the reporting. And then the last part would be this lah. So I'll just scroll through.
Cost-wise, how much is it?
In total, for this project, we spent about 37,000 in total. 24,000 was from U4S grant, 10,000 from KTP, and 3,500 from Pfizer.
But no, what do you call, no hard investment lah. It's a soft investment mainly.
Hard investment, maksud Tan Sri macam infrastructure
yang apa tu, cat.
Oh yes. So
bagi makan.
The hard investment are only tables, chair. Kita beli affordable projector, screen. Adalah.
So that wall tu memang ready to be painted.
Yes, betul. But we paid for the base paint untuk bersihkan, and then diorang nak buat a bit of tambah lighting. So I think in the grant allocation tu memang banyak kepada infrastructural work sikit lah. But the rest will be for modules and food.
Okay. Now, when you say 134, ni who are these 193? So 193 ni is the total peserta lah.
Betul. Over the course of the modules on program, we did 11 programs. So these are total participants. They might be repetitive persons.
But you have another number, I think, the benefit manfaat.
Penerima manfaat, this one 193. So bila kita submit report to U4S, they wanted us to know how far we have reached with this project. So it is this one.
But these are involvement. I think one or two might be sitting down and smoking je.
Yang ni so far yang memang participate in the workshop, and then mana yang tolong gotong royong.
No passengers.
So far kita memang dapatkan yang join in the ni lah.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I'll just scroll through a bit on the.
Adab ni is kita punya apa? Student.
Kita ada MOU dengan mereka. NGO.
So our involvement are people like you lah, the trainer, the facilitator kind of thing.
Yes. Yes. So Dr. Azami brought in his Usrah in Action for SciTech. So and juga dengan flagship.
Okay, great. Alhamdulillah. Good.
So I think I'll scroll through. I want to show a bit of things that we had to measure. Macam ni lah, before kita start, kita buat a bit of survey to know apa yang minat dengan tak minat, a simple survey. So that we want to ensure that we don't do things just because kita orang yang suka kan, but they also are interested in doing. And then of course their gadget readiness, because at that time it was online and they were only, kalau guna handphone je mungkin Google Meet sajalah yang sesuai. Okay, so these are just some of the images of what we did. So for each of these program, we're in the process of forming the module. So we would do before and after because we couldn't do quantitative survey. So we asked them to draw before intervention came in so that we could compare how it was, and then we implemented the module. And then we would generally measure in terms of their readiness, what they can draw, how they can discuss. So these are the kena balik lah. Okay. So even the methodology for the program.
Show back the last slide tadi.
Yeah.
The second and that one before. What is this yang yang the steering tu?
Ni. The kanan tu. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you project it and then you draw.
Yes,
macam
we use
buat
projector.
Kita punya ni. Oh, okay.
Betul. Alamak, sorry. Okay. Then inilah, so kita try to tengok macam mana kita nak involvekan pelbagai peringkat umur dan dia boleh color dengan crowd control. So we use this pin by number concept. And then, so we exposed to them, some of them even school students, they have never done mural even dekat sekolah. Cikgu tak pernah bagi peluang kan. So it did boost a bit of confidence for them to work on a huge wall. And then we took the Kelab Belia to visit Adab Youth Garage punya pusat interaksi belia di PPR Kota Damansara. Because as AYG also suggested, let them see the potential of what the room can become. So for Adab Youth kat Kota Damansara, they received sponsorship from Etika about 40,000 to equip the room with TV, with aircon sebenarnya lah. So compared to yang kita punya tu baru starting. Okay, and then we also did several different modules. So kita try to documentkan before and after of their program. So we use Padlet for them to document and upload their works before and after. Okay. Right, so this is for Bengkel Geometrical Science under SciTech, and then Bengkel Komunikasi. So for some of these Bengkel, we managed to do some surveys, some didn't. So depending on the nature of the program. And then macam ni lah kita tengok before and after of their ambition, perjalanan tentang kerjaya after the program has been conducted. Not any extensive statistic survey, just a very simple survey. And then even on them how to do video. So I think part of the challenge was to ensure that when we organize the program on collecting the documentation, nak upload dekat mana, nak collect apa, because I think that's the tough part of coordinating the project lah. And then at the end, this is what we found to be the impact, which is on exposing them to seni, social and technology, and also to activate basically ruang sejahtera. And this is what we're working on at the moment for the module to be copyrighted as part of the output of this program. And okay, this was the room before. So memang ada najis, tikus, kucing. But so from this project, then they asked the BKL to help clean it up, the cleaners, and then baru kita masukkan lah untuk bawakan infrastructure. So this was yang gotong royong ni was right before our U4S punya final visit. And actually after our module has finished, Kelab Belia has actually continued with their own activity. So dia plan dengan surau untuk buat kelas sahabat Al-Quran for the kids every Thursday and Friday. So this is what we were looking at. Maknanya without us, they can still continue to
same space.
Yes, at the same space. So they have that. So ni pun saya nak tanya jugalah update, ada tak aktiviti baru yang jalankan kan? But other than that, they also celebrated birthday of their Kelab Belia members together, so it becomes a communal space as it's intended to be. And this was during the final visit by the U4S Secretariat, where all three universities, UITM, UM, and us UIA, use this ruang to present. So it can even host a small meeting for us to present the work. Okay, and then our final get together, seeing them to use the space and being very comfortable. So alhamdulillah, we hope that it can, we would love to connect, any staff in the university who wants to do community engagement, we'd be happy to connect you with PPR Gombak Setia. Okay. Kelab Belia. Yes. Yes, Kelab Belia, PPR Gombak Setia.
Dekat mana di Gombak Setia? Can give me a location kat sekolah?
Dekat PPR opposite of M3 Mall. Dekat Taman Melati.
M3 Mall. M3 Mall, lepas tu dia
M3 Mall, dia ada masuk dalam dekat gerai-gerai tu. Ada bangunan tu, you can see that it's in red and white and blue color. So those are the two PPR block. Yang lain tu flat, tapi PPR yang those particular tu. Tak, ni tinggi. Yang dalam, I think 30 levels Dia under di BKL.
Yeah. InsyaAllah. I'm from Gombak Setia. One of the.
Betul, depan tu je.
Ya, pandai. Makan pun juga. Okay, good. Congratulations. So, kita punya hubungan dengan dia ni apa? Habis? Finish?
Actually, this is the link lah. Maksudnya kalau macam Usrah in Action punya projects, ada KTP projects who's looking for community, we hope to continue it that way. Maknanya dia tak stop. Maknanya kalau ada any lecturers nak buat, from other kuliah, so we want to link that so that dia akan berterusan ada aktiviti.
So going back to Mizat dengan Amir, how much of this data is important to you?
You can see the whole 30 minutes of presentation is one project. And also we can see how many the effectiveness, also impact is there, but then again, just only one project.
Yeah. But that's exactly what Farid is saying. Most of the skills that you've got, they are not captured by these people. The teamwork, these are the things, but they're just one numbers here. You know, they should be killing. They probably be killing one another. They still get the same number. Huh?
Another one.
Yes. Next week ada garden.
Ada garden.
Tanam apa tu?
Tanam macam-macam. Ada bende, ada timun, ada semua.
Yeah.
Sangat.
I mean, this is what I thought. You know, you want to build, so that at the end of the day, the image of IUM is there.
Yes.
It's not a one-time thing. We go and kampung ke benda ke whatever it is lah.
Yang Tan Sri, yang if I may add lah, yang urban farming tu, Prof Azura memang Pawis tu memang suka sangat lah Tan Sri. Yang apa yang the pencen tu semua suka. Tunggu Prof Azura datang. Ajar dia orang tanam, timun semua.
No, even to the extent that can one of them come to our university?
Boleh.
Can one of them come to our school? You want to build that kind of a connection lah, baru nampak kita pada impact.
Main netball. So we link them to sports complex director, Dr. Mayudin, and Dr. Mayudin link us to TBYA. So the netball team did a friendly match with our IUM netball team here in UIA. So they get that collaboration and also using the facility but through sports.
Bagi dia orang menang. First round. You know, dah datang lagi dah. Okay, alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
I think Tan Sri, the basic thing that we want to actually convey is that it's more impactful if we have quadruple helix model here, where you have the university, industry, government agency, and as well as the community. So we have proven it here. We have all those 4 stakeholders, and it worked. The quadruple helix.
Okay, my suggestion is who can we talk to? Let's build on this for the 40th anniversary. Di sana your PPR tu.
Can the club boleh
one discussion and say this is where we want to go.
Alhamdulillah, Tan Sri, we have a good relationship. I think excellent relationship with 3 of them. The Kelab Belia, the Persatuan Belia, the Persatuan Penduduk, and as well as the PAWEN. Persatuan apa tu? Warga Emas. All 3 kita dah sapu dah, Tan Sri.
Ada bukan non-Malaysia? I'm sure ada.
Ada memang ada.
This time we bring them in also.
Boleh.
I nampak seorang di China, dia must be from Pfizer kot. Yang baju biru tu. Local I think let's build. I think this looks like a good start.
Yeah.
How do you end up? So by the end of this year, we can declare we have now built one community that is very associated with the university, and it proves all the point that we want to prove.
That ruang sejahtera, Tan Sri, they actually it's like ours sebenarnya, ours. So it is sebut UIA je boleh masuk. UIA je we can come in kan any program. So that's why we convey the message that anyone who wants to do usaha in action ke apa-apa ke masuk. Let's educate them. Let's share the knowledge and so on and so forth.
Actually, if we were to see the 174 students projects report, this is the kind of thing that is happening down there. Maksudnya bila dia turun tu ada makcik yang offer rumah sebelah dia, and then it's not that comfortable, they offer another surau, and that is evolved organically into a strong association with the students and the community. But I guess bigger than that is that how do we monitor this progress? Because it's more complicated. It's really the students' drive. And like what in Kuantan, they've got their own, I mean, they managed to MOU with the penduduk dekat situ. But it's really student driven. But if it is left that way, because the next batch has to follow, otherwise it will be left like that. In our case, mungkin, yeah, they are quite familiar with it, but not all of them are like that. I mean, they are done. So we've got many cases, because bila kita award most collaborative projects, those are the criteria. They've got like 7 collaborators there in Kuantan. So there is something that we need to really put it together lah. Otherwise,
Maybe this one. Think about it.
And one more, Tan Sri, actually we are publishing a book between these three universities, URA, UM dengan UiTM, about our contribution in PPR Gombak Setia. There will be soft launch by the YBM in Hospital Al Sultan Abdullah, Sungai Buloh.
Sultan Abdullah.
Tu hospital yang UiTM Puncak Alam.
Oh.
So we have the book. We'll show it to you for comments lah.
So you can do your tuition class yang nak spend kan, benda tu boleh masuk. You can even work with the store. Store tu my hunting ground kan. Kan apa nak beli apa ke. Itu je lah kan. Okay, congratulations. Good. Okay, maybe Yasir good. Any question? You all very quiet there. Okay, before that, this word Communiversity ni, if I go into the internet, dia banyak versi punya.
Yeah.
Ada COOMU besar, and then kecil. Ada COOM N V besar. So you need to distinguish yours from somebody needs to do a graphic on this so that kita punya tak nampak macam orang lain je.
Yeah. That's probably
Mungkin
something we have to think
kita
about.
I besar because Islamic International.
Dr. Yasir lahir dekat Manchester kan, so kita besarkan M dengan U lah.
Wait, dah terrier.
Tapi Mandarin tak kira. A boleh sejahtera. Okay. So mungkin Khalillah can help good with
the artistic.
How do you stylize this
Style.
Communiversity that becomes ours. Orang lain tak boleh claim. Macam USM lah. Biasa USM dia keluar United States Marine. USM tak keluar. When it's more dominant. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'll probably, because of the time, I'll quickly present what's been done so far for the community appraisal system, the one that Tan Sri talked about early on. So the idea of Communiversity, we started after one of the Istidamah, actually, one of the Istidamah session like this, where we have presenter from several universities, and then suddenly we agree to sit together and come out with our own appraisal. Okay, the issue basically because of community engagement, everyone was talking about community engagement, and everyone believed that community engagements are largely ignored, not being focused on, especially after we looked at Myra and Stara presentation just now. The way we evaluate community engagement or the contribution of university to community is very, very probably can. And furthermore, when we talk about community contribution to society or to community, we always talk in economic sense. In a way, we talk about innovation. Okay, in a way, we talk about entrepreneurships, business corporations, industry corporations, employability, and job market relevance. And there is a push that university to contribute to society in many different ways. Okay, especially when we look at project like how Dr. Khalillah presented just now, university can do much more. We can do something like what Dr. Khalillah done. We could do probably more than that, and etc. And that's also considered as community contribution by the universities. And then it is also very important to realize that when we engage with community, the impact is not only on the community, but the impact is also for the community inside the university. That means our students, our staff also get impact or benefits from the community. So next. Okay, so the definition, probably definition when we talk about community engagement, it's very important to define what is community engagement. Community engagement is basically about how university address societal need in partnership with the external communities. Okay, how we define community is a community of place, identity, or interest, including government, business, civil society, organization, and citizens from the local to global levels. And then engagement is process where university undertake joint activities with the external communities in a way that is mutually beneficial, even if each side benefit in a different way. Okay, of course, the benefits would be different to the university and to the society, to the community. And societal needs is political, economic, cultural, social, technological, environmental factors that can influence quality of life in the society. Okay, so the appraisal system that we are proposing, the Communiversity appraisal system with probably, I don't know, capital I or capital V after this, is a quintuple-based higher education ecosystem designed for the post-pandemic futures, which give emphasis on university community engagement. Okay, or we term it UCE. Yeah, it takes a more collaborative whole of development, which includes spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and physical approach into consideration without sacrificing the local context and purpose by not resorting to the ranking scheme of things with the following dimensions. Okay, these are the dimensions that's proposed by Tan Sri Rector. Okay, the 5 dimension is, first one is integration of knowledge, okay, which focus on long-term solutions to the societal problem. And then number 2 is community transformation and leadership on how to work interdependently, recognizing each other contributions. Number 3 is sustainable entrepreneurship for self-sufficient futures. Number 4 is responsible research and innovation that integrates the community from start to end. And then number 5, collaboration and exchange for the higher purpose of human and planetary survival. So those are the 5 domains where this appraisal system will focus on. Okay, everything will be mapped to these 5 domains. Okay, the appraisal system also intended to recognize excellence in many dimensions to be modeled upon wherever they may be from, instead of selecting the best among the participants, and propose appraisal system celebrate diversity in meeting sets of criteria. So basically, the idea is to push this appraisal system as a tool for the university for their self-reflection, not basically a data to be submitted to, for example, ministry or to MQA, etc., for them to look at us. This appraisal system is for the university to reflect and develop themselves. It's a self-development tools that we like to propose for the university to use. Okay, so that we can improve on how we engage the community, probably improve how we do responsible research and etc. And then the evaluation. So the conventional result-based measurement, okay, like how we have been doing things, and evaluation methods in which the building blocks are observable, quantifiable data, consistently fail to capture the depth and breadth of university community engagement related data, because community engagement is very diverse. Okay, it's very unique, and it's really localized to context. Basically, the really unique to the social context of the engagement. Okay, thus measurement of UCE should consider the very nature of UCE, which is all this, which is complex, diversified, dynamic, ever-changing, and loaded with values. Okay, therefore, the appraisal system that we propose adapt the principal focus evaluation instead of defining standards, like having to have a set of criteria, like how we see it in Setara or in Myra just now, number of specific stuff to be measured. The proposal is to have a principal focus evaluation. But this principal focus should cater for the three stages, which is the purpose, process, and outcomes, okay, which will facilitate the ongoing engagement across many discrete projects and multiple change initiatives. So the proposed principles, some of the proposed or these are the proposed principles that we propose for probably this first version of the appraisal system. Okay, first one is to have institutional commitment, to look at the institutional commitment on how they approach UCE. Okay, which is to look at the mission, the structures, and the support by the institution. Number two is to look at the authenticity of the community engagement. Okay, looking at specifically the benefits from the engagement, okay, the trust of the community, and the spread of the projects or the spread of the impacts of the project. And then looking at nurturing community developments. Number four, consideration of power dynamics. Number five, meaningful reporting. Number six, comprehensive results, okay, which looks at the deliverables and outcomes. And finally, looking at the impacts of the projects or the impacts of the activity as a whole from the university. So this is the all those put in tables, okay, to appraise the levels of UCE performance. The community appraisal system considers the principles and indicators which are related to the input, process, and outcomes of the UCE engagement. The principal indicators are mapped. Okay, at the end will be mapped to the mapped to the 5 dimensions, which is integration of knowledge, and the 5 at the right. Okay, and the proposed principle is in the middle. And the idea is when we engage with a university to be evaluated, the proposed idea is that we let the university to decide how do all these are measured. How would they measure all this for the universities? Basically taking into context their local conditions, their unique conditions of the universities, their locality, etc. So this is an example of indicators. Okay, coming from the principle, we'll have indicators for each of the proposed principles. For example, if we want to look at institutional commitment and support, okay, we look at the mission of the universities, the leaderships, and then the strategic action plans of the universities, the support structures, the institutional level policies, public endorsement for specific engagement, etc. Okay, so these are some of the proposed indicators, but then again, these indicators will depend on the universities how they want to take it up when they're presented with this appraisal system. So they have to define how they would like to measure all this principle that was given for this particular appraisal. And this is an example since Communiversity, okay, since the Communiversity, tadi pun, okay. Oh, patutlah. Ya Allah, I've been presenting on the wrong PC, sorry. Okay, so this is the indicators that I've been saying just now. So there's a lot of indicators that we. This is an example. Tapi lepas tu kita buat, we did a workshop once. We come out with the next one, which is this one. So this is for our IIUM part, which is to look at how do we measure responsible research and innovation. So all these indicators are the indicators that can be mapped to responsible research and innovation. And basically now the task is on how we measure the indicators that we have set here. For example, how do we appraise, or how do we put measurement into the institutionalized UCE as one of the mission of the university? How do we measure that? So this could be qualitative, because yeah, certainly it cannot be quantitative. So as long as the university have good missions, then probably we'll give some good rating for the first one, for example. And then how do the university facilitate research and innovation activities? So this one group Prohami, the one that derived this. Prohami was in the workshop as well. Yeah, this is our part, which is number 5. So the other universities will propose the rest of the indicators. Hopefully we can combine, and I think hopefully can get one that is universal for all the universities. So we'll again discuss this. We'll discuss this with other universities as well and see how does that fit.
Into this. Can Dr. Khalillah project for this, and also maybe we can measure against M Kitchen, another project that come to my mind now. Okay, and let's see how we sample to evaluate, because we want to know which one is giving higher marks.
Yes. There was a discussion, Tan Sri, whether we are measuring project by projects or we are measuring university as a whole. Yeah. Yes, that's right.
So this is a small project that can grow to a whole university project.
Yep. So
I think this one looks promising now that we've got projects. Kalilah one, take another one yang agak weird and see how we can.
Okay, we'll try to do that probably during the workshop where we have projects.
I will tell you when we deal with the Middle Eastern people, dia punya mindset are all American. So the terminology you're going to listen are very Americanized kind of thing.
Okay.
The only thing that Maria ni a little bit more. That's why I'm very encouraged when Harvard said no, the rubbish from US. Then there's something that's not right.
Yeah. Yep.
My last comment is yang meaningful reporting ni, I think
integrated reporting.
Tapi apa yang kita buat dengan apa ni, dengan
Yeah. Okay. So this would be the indicators, and the next step would be how we measure all these indicators. That's to be discussed, and probably how we fit projects or how we submit data for this appraisal. And the next is the methodology. Basically, we follow how Setara and Myra is doing. First, the university have to prepare the report themselves, and then probably just a visit to validate, to cross-validate the data. This is basically general methods on making sure that the data submitted is correct by the university. But then again, the idea is always for the university to self-develop for their own self-development, and the idea is not to hide the data. We want to share the data to encourage universities to learn from each other and to basically probably enhance their community engagement through the examples of other universities. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ada komen tak?
Yang tadi tu yang nak Communiversity tu, one idea is I tu jadikan dia italic I. Dah lain lah.
Yeah,
and to represent two things
Jadi italic I.
to represent two things. One is Islamic, and one is international. Kita lah tu.
I
Ha.
and I am. Istidamah.
Istidamah. Yeah. Betul. Okay. Anybody else that wants to comment on this one? This is the one I think that is at stake lah. If they don't buy this one, then I think we back to the drawing board. So but this one looks don't complicate it sangat.
Yeah.
Maknanya kalau dapat 3 dulu, okay, then kita expand as we go along.
Okay.
Because I remember one kita buat dengan Prof Daud lagi tu, Cisco ke bagi duit, kan? So they buat very comprehensive, and then they try to the country. Most of it orang tak ada isi because orang tak ada data. So right away dia punya project looks as a failure because there's no data. So don't be too ambitious. As long as data tu compact, then I think we can add it on as we go. Yeah. The first. Yeah, that's why you need to talk to the practitioners, people on the ground. What are the more likely data that they will get, rather than
support what Tan Sri mentioned. Normally when talking about collecting data ni, can we be as minimal as possible, but we gather most information that we want, rather than asking like macam
most accessible data lah, kan?
Because just like our experience in filling survey kan, kalau one page tu kita okay lah. Dah ni
forget. Buat pula online, halfway hilang. Okay. So what is the plan, Zainal, with you to do with the other four universities ni? Kita kena sit down and
Okay, so the idea is we'll have an online meeting this Friday, basically because of the changes of personnel in other universities. So we'll have a meeting this Friday, and then after that we are going to plan for a workshop, a proper workshop in KPT, end of February. By that time, all the universities have prepared what they have, and then we sit down in the workshop to finalize. Inshallah.
Okay.
So hopefully by that workshop, siap lah.
Okay.
Lepas tu we can present to Muscat.
Okay. Any last comments? So orang kaya buat dia dah conjung ke kanan.
Not me, that's not me. Tak tahu siapa buat. Boleh. Okay, that's nice.
Okay, kalau tak ada, thank you very much. I think we try hard lah. I think there is an opportunity agaknya Tuhan bagi. Let's try hard and go wholeheartedly. Inshallah, we will be able to make some dent somewhere. Okay. So thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. Have a good day.
Assalamualaikum.